What's up, podheads? Let's talk about how to get loud. Getting loud comes down to two things: sensitivity and power handling. What is sensitivity? Sensitivity is basically the industry standard of how loud a speaker will get with 1 watt of power. And it's one of the very few industry standards that's fairly accurate and repeatable. The higher the sensitivity on a speaker, the louder it can get with less power. What is power handling? Power handling basically is how many watts a speaker can handle while functioning and not offing itself. And this is not an industry standard. The higher wattage rating on a speaker, the louder it can potentially get because it can handle more watts. So what is loud? What is getting loud? Getting loud is basically moving air, right? The more air you move, the louder a sound will be. Getting loud with subs is probably the easiest thing to understand because you can actually see and feel that air being moved. Loud subs have low sensitivity, but they handle tons of power, have huge cone area, big stroke, and can move a lot of air at low frequencies. You can actually see the air moving. To get more output out of a subwoofer, you add more power. And what that does is it throws the speaker cone more to push more air to give you more output. And subwoofers require a lot of power because you gotta push that big heavy cone and push all the air that it wants to move. Tweeters, on the other hand, are extremely sensitive speakers. What that means is it takes very, very little power in order to be very, very, very loud. The reason this is because tweeters have these little tiny, very lightweight diaphragms in them. But the function is exactly the same. You add more power, that cone, the little tiny diaphragm, is moving more, but it's moving really, really fast. And it doesn't take a lot of tweeters or tweeter power to get really, really loud in the high frequencies, basically because of the way the energy transfers and the way our ears perceive the sound. Loud tweeters, a lot of loud tweeters, really suck to listen to. Then in between the tweeter and your subwoofer, you have your mid-range and mid-bass speakers. And there's a couple of different flavors of those. The first one is your SPL brands. Basically, these are speakers that don't play very low frequencies, but they will play loud as hell because they have very high power handling capabilities. Then you have your SQ type brands. These are speakers that have much wider frequency range, but they don't play as loud because they don't handle as much power. So in order to make your SPL speakers really loud, you just add more watts. But these SQ type speakers that play really low frequencies, they don't play very loud. So in order to get them louder, you need to add more of them. But basically, to get loud, you either add more speakers or you add more watts. If you can't add more watts, you add more speakers. And if that's not enough, so I hope that was a quick enough explanation on how to get loud and the very basics of it. We'll get into more detail later going forward and how to do different things with different speakers and different combinations of everything. But I'm Brandon, hoping to help you get a better car stereo. Peace.